After one of the most intense years of my life, I moved to the city, and over the past year, I think I've become a lot more thoughtful about my daily activities as I strive to be happier and healthier as a person. We all wish we didn't procrastinate or that we were more productive than we actually are. A lot of that is often tied to how happy we are. I've absolutely spent weeks feeling terrible and not getting anything done because of it. And there's no worse feeling than feeling as if you're falling behind. But this past year, I've invested so much time in myself and learned countless things that have truly helped me. So I sat down and tried distilling the core ideas that I think are making the biggest difference in my life, and I want to share them in this video. So as I've been wrapped up trying to move here, I feel like I've really struggled to stay on top of things. I feel like my sleep schedule just started to fall apart, and I struggled eating enough and just staying hydrated. And I quickly realized just how terrible I felt. Kind of reminded me of this thought that I've had before, and that is, life is kind of like a Jenga tower. Let me explain. So every decision or core part of us is like a wood block. Each foundational part is another block that essentially creates who we are. When we're young, ideally, and not always, we have a support system that helps us build that tower. Helps us eat, gets us educated, and teaches us, basic human being stuff. And then we become adults, and now we're doing it all by ourselves. We all have a million Jenga pieces. Maybe on the surface, it's just to do the dishes or complete that work you've been putting off. But the important part is understanding how important all of our pieces are. Sure, the top pieces are replaceable, like you don't really have to do the dishes. But what if midway or below through your tower is a bunch of missing pieces? The whole tower could come crashing down. If one of these is off, no matter how much we try to build our Jenga tower, sometimes the slightest breeze can feel as if it throws everything off. For instance, maybe you don't believe in yourself. Every piece that you now build on top of this is suddenly at a much higher risk of toppling over. If you don't actually have confidence in yourself, how can you actually do anything you want to do in life? The messy reality is we are sum of our parts. Maybe we can't always get those parts in order, but giving it our best shot is going to make everything else in our lives a lot easier. It's incredibly important to realize that if we're struggling with the stuff on top, it's usually because of the stuff on the bottom. Sometimes it's as simple as you just need to take care of yourself more. Maybe you need to binge watch a Netflix TV show for a day or something, or maybe you need to just go exercise more or journal, or in my case, get to bed on time. One of the things that's absolutely helped me get my pieces in order this year has been therapy. Therapy has absolutely changed my life, and that's why I'm excited about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service that is 100% online. You can usually be matched with a therapist within 48 hours, making starting therapy a lot less intimidating for people like you and me. Last year, I felt the lowest that I ever felt before, and after starting therapy, it quickly became an incredibly valuable tool. Being able to travel and talk to someone weekly was far more impactful than I could have ever imagined. So if you'd like to support this channel, you can visit betterhelp.com/evandrews or visit the link below. And after answering a few simple questions, BetterHelp will match you with a professional that has years of experience helping countless people in their lives. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. For the past few months, I've just felt constantly behind. I had emails to send, video calls to make, and between signing my lease and just trying to move, I've just been going crazy. I knew I had to do something. And like a crazy person, I decided to graph it out. Okay, so I got some tape, I got some sticky notes. Basically, my idea is I'm gonna try to graph out everything that's in my head right now. Mainly, that's basically decisions that I have to make and everything on my to-do list. I started laying out all my problems. Make this person happy, decide if I'm gonna commit to this or that thing, pay this bill, and on and on. It can actually be very interesting to just start laying out your problems. I ended up settling on making the Y value control, or my ability to just control an outcome, and the X value as the reward, what I gained by doing it. And what I realized was how messed up my priorities were. In my mind, I was treating sending a simple email the same as something much more important. This is not really a good thing. So I had to fix it, but how?
I think two things kind of came to mind for me. The first one was to just try to focus on things more in my control. And the second one was to just try to be more confident as a person.
I think confidence is important in our lives because one of the most common things we all struggle with is procrastination. And the root of procrastination is fear. We put off doing things because we're uncertain about them. I'm putting off sending these emails because I was hesitant about committing to an obligation or risking my security. When we're procrastinating, we're afraid of what will happen when we break up with that person or what our boss will think of that work report, so we put it off. But these things are facts of life. We really don't have much control. So I think it's important that we really focus on things that we do have control over and be courageous over the things that we don't. I'm not perfect. I still struggle with this, but that's what I'm thinking about lately.
There's actually this exercise that I was told about, and basically what you want to do is you want to write down the worst possible outcome and then the best possible outcome. And then you would just want to average them because usually most things are going to land in the middle.
But what I can say, I think what's been helping me the most is disconnecting.
I know we all know that we should scroll less, but have you noticed how toxic Instagram comments are lately? It's kind of disturbing. And I think this toxicity can definitely rub off on us.
So I'm really trying to cut it out of my life and replace it with something else. Usually it's easier to cut something out if you can replace it. And for me, I'm trying to make that being more creative. Honestly, if you haven't done anything creative in a long time, I highly recommend it. Something about just putting pencil on paper can be super cathartic. And this year, my intention/New Year's resolution actually was to be more creative. Whenever I'm making something new and it's been a long time, I'll just be having a blast by myself. I've always thought I wanted to get better or turn art into my career, but I realized what I love about it so much is that it's just for me. I get to create for no other reason than to just enjoy the feeling. I think a lot of us get wrapped up in a loop of always needing to get more done. And sometimes we need to be that person, but other times I genuinely think the best thing you can do is to just take a step back, give yourself perspective, because it's not always as big of a deal as we often think. It's important to remember that your value is not defined by your achievements and other people, it's defined by you. But whatever you do, I think it's really important that you find your own beauty in life. I really believe that none of us are inherently lazy, unskilled, or unhappy, and that if we listen to ourselves, we might find an answer that helps us. If you listen to yourself and you try to understand your problems, you'll find you have momentum. And with a little bit of creativity or ingenuity, I think we can all get a little bit closer to where we want to be in life. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully this video is valuable or just entertaining in some way. But I want to know, what are you doing lately that's making you happier or healthier or changing your life? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you did like the video, it's really helpful if you subscribe. It's very inspiring. Okay, that's the end of the video.